On today's video we have a Suzuki Jimny which belongs to my brother, and we are going to see if we can take it all the way to Paris. The first bit of our journey we had to drive to Dover, which was about a 3.5 hour drive according to the sat nav, but in the Jimny we can only go 50 miles an hour, so that means it takes an extra hour to go where we wanted to, which wasn't too bad. And just like that, we made it to Dover, ready to catch the ferry in the morning. We're in the ferry port at Dover. We had to find the right lane, go through a couple of checkpoints to catch the ferry. We got to the ferry a little bit early, let's say an hour and a half too early. Luckily enough, there was a Costa. After a couple of nice coffees, we finally got the Jimny on the boat. We can now let the Jimny have a little break, and the ferry takes around an hour and a half to get over to France. After an hour and a half, we were finally back in the Jimny, ready to get into Calais. We finally got the Jimny off the ferry. We are in Calais. We are driving to Paris, to Charles de Gaulle Airport, where our hotel is. It's going to take around 3.5 hours, but in the Jimny probably 4.5. We have done a lot of work to this over the last few months. We put some big tires on it, body kit, snorkel, which hasn't made it the fastest one. We have about 200 and some miles to the hotel, and yeah, we got a fair old drive ahead of us yet. Hopefully the Jimny will get us there. I'm sure it will, even though not long after this started to happen. As you can see, the Jimny started to overheat, but luckily enough, with the heaters on full blast and the windows down because it got real hot in there, we managed to nurse it back down to a good temperature, and we managed to carry on. After a fair old drive of about 400 miles, the Jimny made it to Paris, made it to the hotel car park, where we can have a couple of days in Paris now before we start the trip back. Let the Jimny rest for a couple of days, it was finally time to see if it could make it back to England. But first we had to make sure we had some fuel in the Jimny, otherwise we weren't making it home. Even on the way there and now on the way back, we couldn't believe how many lorries overtook us. We definitely lost count. At this point we were probably a couple of hours in to our journey back to Calais, and literally the Jimny was overheating again, and with the heaters on hot. It was so hot in there. Finally, we made it back to Calais. It took us a while to find what area we had to be at, but we finally found it. And just like that, the Jimny was making its way back onto the ferry to cross the water back into England. After about 4.5 hours, 5 hours, it was time for the Jimny to rest for an hour and a half. After its little rest, it was finally time for the Jimny to get off the boat, get back into Dover, and then start our 4.5 hour trip home. At this point the Jimny was cruising lovely. We're probably in our I don't know, 8 hours now travelling, and the Jimny is still going strong. And what a surprise, it started to overheat again, but we put the heaters back on, it soon came back down. We're halfway home and it was time for a coffee break. The Jimny now was not far away from home. It's been to Paris and back. Slight overheating problem, but you can't complain, the Jimny done well. After 800 miles, the Jimny made it to Paris and back. Here's a bonus picture of the Jimny by the Eiffel Tower. Please like, subscribe to this channel for more videos of road trips and car repairs.